What up, everybody? Everybody, what's up, everybody? In What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the What's Up, Everybody channel here with my co-host, Sweet Tea. What a weekend, Tony Thompson.
What a weekend, man. We got so much stuff to talk about. We got Bare Knuckle FC. We got, obviously, the UFC fights. We got Karate Combat coming up. So if you're interested in any or all of those things, stick around.
That was pretty good, Sweet Tea.
Thanks,
Pretty good.
Working on my broadcast skills.
Yeah. I think you could go far with your broadcasting skills. Not just that, but with, just in sports general, broadcasting in any kind of sport, because you're pretty familiar with everything.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Baseball, football, basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
all the balls,
except for golf
or volleyball,
yeah, volleyball.
Or tennis ball,
or softball.
Or softball.
Yeah. Only those first three balls.
Yeah.
Ooh, Tony, I like the way you're holding that can. Got to have the fit soda, man. Guys. Let me tell you something. This is the new thing, okay?
They're not sponsoring this video. It's just that we have. They are a sponsor of WB's, but they're not sponsoring this.
It's just delicious.
Specific cast.
Fit soda. Benefits with bubbles. I'm drinking the root beer vanilla float, Sweet Tea.
And I'm drinking the orange creamsicle.
Bro, this thing's got 0 calories, 0 total fat, 0 sodium, 0 total carbohydrates, and 0 sugars.
0 calories.
Just listen to this.
Infused with BCAAs. Perfect soda alternative for anybody looking out there to meet their fitness goals.
How am I still spilling it?
WB doesn't know how to drink out of a can. He's used to sipping that whiskey.
I got obliterated in that post that we posted up for
Proper 12.
Proper number 12. That's so weird. Why they want me to say it? I always thought it was proper 12, not proper number 12.
Yeah.
Is that anywhere on the logo?
Yeah, there's a small
N-O for number. Oh, well, can't count it. I'm soaking wet right now, dude. Yeah. Just spilled my fit soda everywhere.
You're supposed to put it in you, not on you.
I know. I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's quality soda. Got to get y'all some. Anyway, what do we start with? Where should we go first?
Let's crank it off with starting with Karate Combat coming up this weekend.
Okay. Now, Karate Combat has one of their biggest signings. Recently, just signed him, and this guy has been from Glory Kickboxing,
Bellator MMA, world champion point fighter.
Yeah, Raymond Daniels. Does he have a nickname?
Real Deal.
The Real Deal. That's right. Now, the Real Deal, he's fought MMA. He's fought kickboxing. He was a world-class point fighter. And him and Michael Page Venom, who we'll get into a little bit later, they used to compete each other all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude is a whiz when it comes to striking. Just off the wall, spinning kicks, knockouts, jump, pirouette into a hook, knocking people out.
Mm-hmm. Double curtsy.
Yeah, the little curtsy.
He's out there on the ice skating rink, hitting a double quadruple to a righty tighty, and just KOing dudes.
Just KOing fellas. So Karate Combat just signed him. He was with Bellator. I know he was talking about maybe going to one championship, but I think he's steering away from the MMA. He's 42 years old right now, and I believe his style of fighting. I think he'll be able to strike for years to come. So. Mm-hmm. He's going to be fighting this weekend, making his
Karate Combat, his pit debut.
Yeah,
against a karateka, not very well known, but I think that was the big goal of Karate Combat. And you got to they have a great platform, they have a great model plan for karate guys, but I think the biggest thing that they've been lacking is just that recognizable name.
Yeah.
And I think Raymond Daniels is definitely an entry into the recognizable names.
Yeah.
Raymond Daniels, he's not super duper known in the world of MMA or really like full contact fighting.
No.
In
the point world,
but
for sure.
he is known
in the karate world for sure.
Yeah, he is known, and he is a name that people can be like, oh yeah, that's the guy that
did this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got some crazy highlight reel knockouts that you've probably seen out there on social media. But yeah, man, he's just not there. He's just not worldwide, I guess, yet. Now, karate is worldwide, and you can go all over the world and say at any karate tournament, any karate school, and say Raymond Daniels, I know who he is. Yep. But for the regular Joe Blow, no.
Casual fans might not know him, but you're going to want to get to know him. So August 27th, this coming weekend, he makes his pit debut. And not to mention that card is headlined by a Karate Combat Super fight.
Yeah.
You have the lightweight champion stepping up to fight the welterweight champion for 2 title holders for a super fight.
Champ.
So it's a 9-fight card coming up this weekend. I think there's 9 fights on it, and
check it out. I wanted to be there, but GSP is going to be one of the commentators. Him, Boss Rutan, obviously. Go check it out. Always highlight reel knockouts in this organization, and in the way it's geared, I mean, it's action packed.
Yeah,
it really is. If you're into people getting knocked out, go check it out this weekend. Where can they watch it, Sweet Tea?
Just karate.com. Simple as that. And
Easy
usually
peasy.
Their stuff is free on YouTube, so it's super sick. So what are your expectations of Raymond Daniels coming out here?
For Karate Combat?
Yeah.
I think he's going to obliterate everybody. I think they're going to build it up to a super fight between him and the champ, right? Which is Ross Levine. I think he's fighting at 185. Ross Levine's the champ at 185. They used to compete together in point tournaments back in the day. Both have full contact kickboxing experience, and which gives them an advantage when they're facing off against guys that have come over from the Kumite point fighting arena. You have a lot of guys in Karate Combat who they just haven't had that full contact experience yet, and they're coming over. So, Raymond Daniels is. If you ever watch Ross Levine, he has some of that full contact look, like more of like a kickboxing stance. Raymond Daniels has that point fighting stance. Have you ever seen him kind of like MVP? So it's going to be the clash. I think they're going to build it up to where those guys face off. So I think he's going to whoever he fights, he's going to put him to sleep.
That's the hope, at least.
Yeah.
Best case scenario for Karate Combat, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Get some highlight reels going so people start recognizing the Karate Combat name. And again, it's free, man.
Dude,
like just on YouTube.
Check it out.
Just YouTube, man. Free.
I mean, is there a fight happening this weekend for the UFC?
I don't think so.
There you go.
I think if I'm not mistaken, the next fight is Cyril Gane and Tai Tuivasa, September 3rd.
Yeah.
So I do not believe there is a UFC fight happening this weekend.
Well, good. Then you guys need to go check out Karate Combat.
That's right. Perfect time. Check out KC.
Oh, KC?
And JoJo.
KC and JoJo. What was that song?
Baby, 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 baby. That one.
Oh, yeah.
I will never find another lover
sweeter than you.
sweeter than you. All right.
I don't know. I thought we were going to keep going, man.
Nah,
was
that's
actually
about where
pretty
my
good.
KC and JoJo knowledge taps out.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure we sounded kind of like
Tenacious
Simon
D.
and Garfunkel.
Oh,
You know,
Simon and Garfunkel, Tenacious D, same thing.
yeah. But yeah, man, we got Karate Combat. Oh, so huge this past weekend.
Unexpected.
Nobody expected it. Well, as of yesterday, I had changed my mind on a lot of things leading up to these fights.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that with the way Karate Combat is set up, the way bare knuckle fighting is set up, and you have this MMA point fighter guy, Michael Venom Page.
Always
Michael
does
Page
that.
Venom. Michael Venom Page, whatever. MVP. Has come over to this. I felt like this was a perfect scenario for Mike Perry.
So if you don't know the scenario, Bare Knuckle FC went to Wembley Stadium. I believe it was Wembley Stadium. I think it was Wembley. And they put on a Bare Knuckle FC fight with England's own MVP, Michael Venom Page, versus USA's bulldog of a fighter, Mike Perry.
And boy, oh, he is a bulldog.
He is, man. And if you don't know who Mike Perry is, Platinum Mike Perry, he is a dude that is as Neanderthal as they come in terms of fighting. Beats you with his toughness. But in the UFC, it just kind of started falling apart for him. So he's since made the transition over to bare knuckle fighting, and he has blossomed.
He has. I mean, just that style, like you said,
It's like he was built for this, for a gladiator.
He may have one
battle.
or two fights left in him just from the damage that he's taken. He literally
he's like one of those guys
beat you with his face.
Yeah. He's like one of those guys who, like, in battle, if you stab him, he'll like pull himself further onto the sword just to like
just
stab
to
you.
That's him, man.
That's like his deal.
I mean, there's some technique to his chaos, but basically it looks like his coaches just take his leash off and just say, go fight. And I don't even think they say anything to him while he's out there. No commands. He just rips it and dips it.
Mm-hmm.
He knocks MVP down in the first round. Mm-hmm. MVP's doing his thing, hand down, moving around. He goes to blitz in, and Mike Perry just hits him with that too. Bah!
Now I know what you're thinking. Well, obviously, MVP's a point fighter and MMA fighter. No, he's got professional boxing experience. And I'm pretty sure he's undefeated as a professional boxer. Might only be one or two fights. But he's got professional boxing experience with gloves, regular boxing, obviously. So he knows a little bit about the boxing game.
So at the end of the fight, if you looked at each fighter, who would you think won that fight?
No doubt you would think MVP won the fight.
Just from looking at, their appearance.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't watch the whole fight. I didn't even realize it was taking place until it was over because they were in England, so it happened way earlier here. So I kind of just was like on social media and like, oh, snap, they fought, and I saw the ending. But, if I didn't know the result and you showed me their faces, I would have said there's 100% chance MVP won that fight.
Yeah. I mean, he had a few bumps and bruises, but Mike Perry looked like
swollen cheek.
Just spam. I mean, he had a contusion. His cheek was just swollen. I don't know if he broke his jaw or what, but man. I don't know. He takes punishment and act like it's nothing. I'm like, golly, but he beat him with his face.
He did. So from what I read online, because Mike Perry dropped MVP in the first round, it was an automatic 10-8 for Mike Perry because, boxing and how that works. MVP would go on to win the next 3 rounds, so it's a 5-round fight. And then Mike Perry would take the 5th, so it was a draw. So they went an extra round. They went a 6th round, which I don't know why they do that in boxing or why they did that for this and why they don't do that in MMA or whatever. But they went the 6th round, and Mike Perry was able to
because they have to have a winner. There is no draw. Right?
There's no draws in boxing? I don't know.
I remember in kickboxing, when I fought kickboxing, if it was a draw, you went another round. You went one more round if it was
Did you ever have to do that?
I did.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody almost beat you in kickboxing? That's crazy,
I fought a guy. It was my first kickboxing tournament ever. It wasn't the IKF. It was out in Vegas, first time to Vegas. And I fought up in weight. Fought a guy who was he was a big dude. I think I went up to 185, and I must have been like 170 or something. I waited.
No, I think you used to fight in the 180s.
No, that was later in my career. That was when I was a little bit later. I was in my teens still in school. And, yeah, dude, he was just bigger, pushed me around. Just kept sidekicking, fighting him back, but we had to go an extra round.
And you won that extra one, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the one where the smoke?
No, that was actually IKF. That's when I fought Peyton Russell.
Okay.
And I threw up everywhere.
Yeah.
That was embarrassing. If we have that footage somewhere, we need to find it.
I'm sure we do.
Sure we do. I ended up I was fighting in a casino for the IKF, International Kickboxing Federation, my very first IKF tournament. And me and a buddy of ours, we became friends after this fight. For the actual winner of the tournament, fought a few times, had to fight this guy named Peyton Russell. He was the previous year's champ who he had won it. And we're in this casino, and the ceilings were fairly low, and people were smoking. They were smoking in there. So we're up there fighting in this, smoke-infested room full of people. And not only that, we're like walking through, and they have these vendors out there, like these supplement vendors. And Dad's got me taking like, hey man, try this. I'm taking like these like oxygen pills. I don't know. It's supposed to give you more oxygen. I don't know, but
Sounds
it was
legit.
just gurgling in my belly the entire fight. And at the end, I remember watching the video. It's on probably VHS somewhere. Mm-hmm. They're getting ready. Old Bam Bam Stell was getting ready to announce the winner, and I throw up in my mouth like twice, and I just swallow it back down. Third time, you can see it squirt out of my mouth. I was like, and it just squirts out. Swallow it back down again, man. And then Bam raised my hand, and as soon as I opened my mouth, just to be like, yeah, projectile vomited all in the ring. It looked like it covered half of it. The whole place went quiet, and then I was like, yeah. And next thing I know, the fight was in the hotel we were staying at. Next thing I know, I don't even know how I got there. Got up in my room. I left my dad down there to clean it up. He was so embarrassed. But from then on, I was known as the guy that threw up at the IKF tournament.
Dang.
Yeah, pretty embarrassing.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens at the best.
You got to keep on keeping on.
That's right. Ain't no rest for the wicked.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the Mike Perry fight.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. Did not see that coming. I figured
I figured MVP because bare knuckle is insane.
I know.
Like it makes my hands hurt thinking about it.
What are they paying these guys to do that?
I have no idea, but
apparently it's It's got to be good.
Maybe, but I thought MVP's hands weren't going to be able to withstand it because you gotta have that condition. You gotta be ready to go BKFC, and months ago he was fighting Bellator, so it's not like he was spending a whole lot of time. And I thought he was going to be able to outpoint Mike, pick him apart, be faster, quicker, but man,
he just kept coming forward. And that's all. Like, how did that even happen? I mean, I guess Bellator let him out of his contract. I
think you're allowed to.
And for Bellator?
Yeah, if you fight for Bellator, you're allowed to do like different things as long as it's like approved or something.
Okay, got you. Huh. I always wondered how that went with Bellator. Well, there you have it, man. Mike Perry just beat MVP. And is in London.
Mm-hmm.
In London. That's crazy. That is wild. Anybody else? I think Paige Van Zandt was supposed to be on the card.
Yep, she got pulled off the card.
Do you know why?
Well, other than what they told us last night, and it was possibly because they didn't sell enough tickets.
Oh.
So they weren't going to be able to pay her or whatever.
Got you.
I don't know the validity of that statement.
I didn't know she was still fighting for them. It's been a while since he's fought.
For bare knuckle?
Paige?
No.
Really?
Yeah, she fought not too long ago. For bare knuckle. Yeah.
What is not too long ago?
Months.
No.
Yeah.
I did not see that on social media anywhere.
I did.
Huh. Well, there you go.
Yeah, dude.
Cool.
So, yep, that was crazy. Crazy to see. And then
Obviously,
UFC 278.
we're going to get to the main event. We got to start off
With
the first two fights on the main card.
what was the UFC thinking?
What?
All in all, the card was not great
Yeah.
in terms of like notoriety.
Mm-mm.
They really just back end stacked that card with just the last three fights.
I mean, they were probably pulling guys that they have already cut back into the UFC to make these fights. It's what it seemed like.
They did. That actually happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So obviously, the end of the prelim card, that fight should have been on main card.
That heavyweight fight should definitely have been on main card.
Okay, so you go from Romanov fighting
undefeated
Tybura.
Heavyweight prospect
Right.
fighting a heavyweight veteran in Tybura who's put people to sleep.
and then you go from that fight to the next fight. This dude was from Australia.
Tyson Pedro.
Huntsucker.
No, he's from America.
Oh, really? He
He's
like
American.
he had an accent.
Yeah, he's from Ohio.
But he's told like this. It's almost like
Yeah,
that's more British. But anyway, the dude hasn't won a fight in the UFC. Lost his first fight in the Ultimate Fighter or the Ultimate Contender Series. He fought twice for the UFC, all first round finishes.
For him, he got finished in the first round.
Yeah, he got finished in the first round for both. So he's like 3-0.
0-3.
Excuse me, 0-3 in the UFC, and then he's fighting on the main card
Of a pay-per-view event, like a pay-per-view card. Yeah, it was mind-boggling.
Yeah, and the guy that he beat, the guy that beat him, I've seen him fight before.
Tyson Pedro is no joke.
Yeah.
Obviously he's legit, but
Why did this fight even happen?
yeah, you're 0-3 or 0-2, 0-3. Yeah, he's 0-4 now, right? He lost Contender Series. That's not like technically a UFC fight, I don't think, but
No.
lost Contender Series, lost.
How did he even get in the UFC if he lost the Contender Series?
They're like, hey, dude, we need you to come in late notice.
Yeah, he's one of those late notices guys.
Mm-hmm.
You need somebody real quick. He's there, make a payday.
Yep.
That's what it looked like. He got jabbed, which I've seen a lot of other people get jabbed in the face, and he just went down from a jab.
Hit him in the eye, and then he was done. I was rooting for him. I was like, let's go, bro. Let's get a W. Not even close.
No, first round finish.
Fighting Tyson Pedro,
I wouldn't even be happy if I was Tyson.
I know.
I wouldn't have even been. The way his coaches were like, oh my, like it was. Just
Well, to be fair, Tyson has been through a lot.
Yeah.
Injuries, and he's he finally was able to make it back into the octagon. So it's been a long time coming for him. He's been through a lot to get there. But man, it was a welcome back fight.
Yeah,
it was
here you go, UFC.
Yep, welcome back fight for sure.
And then the following fight, it was now Wu. I'm not even gonna
Wu Yanan, I think. Wu Yanan.
Yanan. Anyway, she was undefeated, right?
No. She was 0-3 in the UFC.
Oh my goodness, she's 0-3 in the UFC.
She was 0-3 in the UFC,
fighting a girl who was cut from the UFC, and I think she was undefeated in an organization called Octagon.
Mm-hmm.
And UFC brought her back to fight Wu, who is 0-3. She got cut, got brought back to fight Wu on the main card, second fight of the main card.
Yep.
So this card was literally built around just the last three fights of the evening. Oh my goodness. You looking up stats right now?
Yeah, she had lost her last three fights.
Man.
Yanan did. Yeah, it was just super interesting.
How did they make it to the main card over the Tybura and Romanov fight?
Or even, Jared Gordon and I think his name was Leonardo Santos. I don't know.
It was wild. But the last three fights were fire. I thought it was great. I was
entertained. The Merab Aldo fight was great.
I did just to see him win.
Well, you were pulling for Merab. He's a law guy.
He law MMA.
Yeah.
I was excited to see him. People were booing after that. I thought it was a great fight. He was outstriking. You could call it outstriking. He was landing strikes. He was. And I don't know. It's just one of those.
There was more knees to the butt last night or this past weekend than I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, cage control, knee to the butt.
Knees to the butts were on point. It's like the new shoulder strike.
Yeah.
Just got a knee to the butt. But Aldo, he just didn't look like he was there.
He wasn't. He wasn't there. It's a swing or miss with Aldo now. Sometimes he shows, sometimes he doesn't. And he just didn't do anything.
I mean, he defended crazy
Takedowns.
takedowns, but he did nothing else, really.
No, that's what I'm saying. So when it got out to the open, he just let Merab kind of have it. There was a few knees, few leg kicks. He threw some really hard leg kicks right off the bat. Don't know why he didn't keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he was just maybe too worried about the takedown.
Yeah.
So sometimes that will put you in a box. Anything that you throw, guys shooting. So you just don't throw anything.
Yeah.
Just defend the takedown. But is one of those guys that just doesn't get tired. I don't know, it was a Joe Rogan saying, I can't wait to see this guy in a 5-round fight.
Yeah.
But it was also in our heads, we were talking about last night, he wins this fight, he wins another fight, and if the champ keeps winning, which is Aljamain, where does he go? He's just going to stay number 2 guy? I guess
he's just okay being the number 2 guy.
Because they said they wouldn't fight because they're teammates. They're best buds.
And I bet you Aljo's like, yes.
Thank goodness.
No, I don't know. But, yeah, I guess he's okay. He's just going to be the number 1 guy. Like, the next to the champ the whole time. He's probably secretly in his head like, all right, TJ, I need you to win so I can fight for the belt.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely need TJ. I don't see TJ winning. Do you?
He was really close against Sandhagen.
Yeah.
He didn't look great against Sandhagen. He definitely wasn't the TJ of old, and for obvious reasons.
And Aljo's a big 35er.
I think Aljo's just going to wrap him up, but I mean, TJ does have striking. He does have good striking. He does have good timing.
I saw him sparring Lomachenko. He was holding his own.
Dillashaw?
Yeah, he spars Lomachenko.
There you go.
That was pretty good. So, but anyway, we were discussing that, like who's next for the title. You have
lot of big stuff happening in that bantamweight division coming up.
Yeah. Of course, you have Peter Yan versus Sean O'Malley.
Mm-hmm.
You also had Vera
just won.
Vera just won.
He just beat Dominic Cruz.
Right. And then you have this past weekend. What's his name?
Merab
just won. So I wonder how that order is going to go.
Yeah.
Because Merab could easily have fought for the title after winning that fight.
He's on an 8-fight win streak.
Yeah. You have Vera could easily. I mean, he's like a 3 or 4 fight win streak.
Yeah, 3 fight. I think
Dominic,
he lost to Aldo. Like 3 fights ago. Your card, Jeff Neal.
Yeah. But he beat, he beat Sean O'Malley. So do you think the winner of that fight, or do you think George should fight Vera? You think?
I think it all depends on Aldo and TJ.
Yeah.
If Aldo wins, I think. I mean, not Aldo, Aljo. If Aljo wins, I don't know. Because it's not like they want to do a Yan Aljo 3.
No, they want
Yan would have to
O'Malley
fight.
to beat Yan, and then they want O'Malley to fight for the title. He's just a bigger.
He's
bigger
probably
man.
the biggest draw in the bantamweight division.
Mm-hmm. I would say he's like one of the.
Him and Cheeto. Cheeto's
do you think he's
getting
in
up
like
there.
the top 3 biggest names in the UFC right now? Think he's up there yet? I know he's making it. Patty's making it. They're making big names for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who's bigger than them besides Conor?
Israel, George Masvidal.
Is he? I don't know. George hasn't fought in forever.
Yeah, but he's still
But is Usman like? I mean, he's big in the fact that he was pound for pound. People kept talking about that, but is he a big draw?
I don't know about draw wise, but just social media presence. Yeah. Chimaev,
that's right.
Is up there.
Yeah. Which I don't. Speaking of Chimaev,
I feel like O'Malley's a big draw amongst the college kids.
Yeah.
The YouTubers
showing up in like Ferraris, Bentleys.
Yeah, just like
private jets.
Yeah, he's like that gin.
And the dude goes to bed at 8:00 at night. He don't even stay up late.
Yeah,
it's crazy to me. But yeah, that's going to be a weird how that goes. Or I'm very interested in see how that pans out. That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
Well, hats off to our fellow Law MMA guy. Okay, I feel like we kind of had to cheer him on. I like him. I think he's a nice guy.
I was kind of rooting for Aldo.
Yeah, vet.
Yeah.
One thing though, I feel like Merab just needs to get that nose fixed.
Yeah.
I think he needs to get that. It's about time.
He needs to stop diving into ice ponds and get his nose fixed.
I want to see that video.
It was reposted somewhere, ESPN or something. I don't remember.
He dove into an ice pond and almost broke his neck. It was shallow, and just bing.
He was doing like this huge, like, look how tough I am. I'm in the winters of Georgia, and I swim in frozen lakes. But I guess he was so cold he didn't realize how shallow he was at. Like, he was standing ankle deep in the water, and I guess he was hoping to. He just ding, top of his head, pew. Immediately stands up. He's like, and then like the next shot is blood coming down his face, where he like split his head open.
Nuts, dude. That's dangerous, man. You gotta watch out. You gotta watch out, Merab.
Watch out for them shallow ponds.
I know. Golly. Co-main event. It was probably the sloppiest.
I was most excited for this fight, probably.
Yeah. More than the
in terms of hype.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, you know.
They've been hyping it up for about a year.
Yeah, exactly. It was like the third or fourth time it's been rescheduled. They finally got it done. Luke Rockhold's making his return after over a 2-year layoff. Then obviously you got Paulo Costa, who's just a physical specimen, can put you to sleep at any moment in time. It's like, dang, man, like what's going to happen? Did Luke's time off give him enough time to heal the chin up, which it looked like it did because he didn't get slept. You know, where's Costa's mindset at? He just fired his manager, and now he's got his girlfriend being his manager, and just a lot of questions going into that fight, and two dudes who throw down.
Oh, man, they were throwing all right. And I felt like the altitude had a lot to do with the sloppiness.
I feel like the altitude affected everyone.
Everybody.
Except Merab.
I feel like, how do you not know that when you go out there, like, okay, it's cool for me to train at sea level, but I'm going up 4,000 feet, 4,500 feet in Denver. How do you not, why would
Salt
you
Lake
not want to
City.
prepare? Is it Salt Lake City?
Yeah, they were in Salt Lake City.
I mean, not Denver. Salt Lake City.
Denver's up there too, though.
Yeah. And not be prepared for that. Like, I was supposed to fight somebody in Denver. What was his name?
Brandon Thatch.
Supposed to fight Brandon Thatch in Denver, Colorado.
And he trains in Denver.
Yeah.
He was a Denver guy.
Yeah. And I immediately got an altitude chamber. Immediately. Yeah. Like, no questions. All right, I'm fighting altitude. I got to be ready. Boom, I'm going to get this.
Yeah, it just hits you so hard.
It's crazy.
We went on a trip to Park City, Utah, which is roughly the same elevation as Salt Lake. A little bit higher.
Yeah.
And dude,
just
you're a
walking
normal
around.
human, and you get up there, it's like 5,000 feet. I was farting all over the place.
Oh, got that hay fee.
Yeah, well, there was, I think, ESPN or Bloody Elbow or somebody posted a GIF of like a bag of potato chips on the dash of a car, and they were driving up. And as they were increasing in elevation, you see just the bag get tighter and tighter and tighter until finally it just blew up.
What?
And that's what's going on inside of you as well.
Yeah.
You know.
If you're not used to it, man, get that. Was it
get
high
those-
altitude flatulence?
Yeah, hay fee.
Hay fee.
High altitude flatulation effect or something.
Yeah.
I was hay feeing all over the place, dude.
We were ripping farts, man.
Breaking hearts. It was rough. Sleeping was rough.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not used to sleeping at that altitude. Man, I always thought it was an unfair advantage for people who train at altitude and fought, at sea level, because it's like they have that natural advantage.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't seem to play a big effect last night.
No. I mean,
But in terms of
I think it had
the
a
Usman
combination
fight.
it's, because they both were exhausted. Costa was exhausted. It just, and Luke, I think the time off and him not fighting for 3 years all just came into that. But even though he was taking shots, I think his nose was broken. He didn't give up, man. He was wincing out there. He would get punched. He's like,
dude, his body language the whole fight was just terrible.
yeah.
It
was almost like he was pitching fit
really
out there,
weird.
kind of. You know,
but then he would start to throw back and land shots. I thought he was gonna, tap out any moment, but he didn't. He kept in there, and Paulo couldn't finish him.
He was at mad at himself more than anything. Just like he'd get punched. He's like and just turn around.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on?
It was a really weird fight.
And then at the end, this dude's bleeding everywhere. He's bleeding everywhere. And the first thing that came to my mind was Fight Club.
Yep.
When Brad Pitt just let this club owner punch him in the face over and over and over again. He's bleeding everywhere. The next thing you know, he jumps on top of this guy. This guy's in a suit, and he's just bleeding. He's like, you don't know where I've been, Lou, and just shaking all the blood on this guy's face. And that's what it reminded me of. Luke Rockhold was in Costa's guard and just rubbing his face, blood all over him. It was crazy. The place erupted when he did that. Mm-hmm. Just blowing snot, blood all over Costa's face. If I was Costa, I would have been pissed. Mm-hmm. I would have gone into a rage and just gotten up and just tried to kill him.
Yeah, bro.
It was disgusting. I mean, just looking at Costa when he stood up and just covered in Luke's blood.
Yeah,
you don't know where I've been.
That's gross, man. That's gross. Needless to say, Costa got the W. Yeah. Rightfully so. And then Luke had that weird did he retire moment at the end.
I know.
He never was like, I'm done. He said, he's like, I'm done, I'm too old. And he took his gloves off, and I was expecting him to leave him in the octagon, but he carried him out. It's almost like,
did he or did he not? I feel like that is the retirement action right there. Yep. You got to leave him. And then he carried him out, but everybody was still hugging him outside like he was done. Like he had retired. But he didn't. He didn't say it.
He's not like, yeah, you'll never see me fight again, or I'm retired, or nothing.
Mm-mm. So
I think he needs to fight at a normal place.
Yeah, see what you're made of.
Really see what else he's got. Change his mouth guard. Fight at a normal place.
Yeah, that has a huge effect in your breathing, period. Having a double mouthpiece. Now, why do you think he had the double? Does he always fight
He's fought with that a lot, and it seems to always give him troubles. And they're really difficult to use.
And to breathe in.
Not to mention he's at altitude, and he has restricted airflow. So we're talking about a mouthpiece that it's almost like if you have braces, you have to have this mouthpiece because it protects the upper and the lower lips from getting busted. But if you get a choice, you got to go with the top. You got to go with the one only. You get a thick one. The idea behind the double mouthpiece is that it's supposed to help align the jaw and provide extra cushion to limit concussions and knockouts. Because that mouthpiece is so much thicker, when you get hit, the mouthpiece absorbs the blow instead of your brain. So that's the idea behind them, and that's awesome. Great idea. But when you have the top and the bottom teeth, they have just this little hole. Yeah. Small hole in the middle for you to be able to collect air through, and it's restrictive and it's hard.
You just got this massive wad of rubber in your mouth, and it doesn't stick to anything.
Nope, you can't.
Like the top mouthpiece sticks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. At least if you have a top mouthpiece, you can relax your jaw, not open it, but if you just relax your jaw, it's still more room to get air in than that little freaking hole in that mouthpiece. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're back up, you could, like it's a normal mouth opening. Mm-hmm. But with that double, even if you're back and you're trying to get air, you have to open it, and your mouth is huge, and the mouthpiece is still in your mouth, and it's rough.
I'm right. I tried it. My pops had me try it out for a few fights, and I spent more time spitting it out than I did keeping it in my mouth. Mm-hmm. I remember I got warned and stuff. I just couldn't keep it. It was just terrible.
I remember that too. I remember that, and I've tried to get to use them, but it's just like impossible.
Yeah. Don't. If I just a recommendation, guys. If you're competing or want to compete, just get you a single mouthpiece. That goes to the top. Don't get the double because it's rough.
Irritating. And if you have braces and stuff like that, then you kind of have to. But if you have a choice, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, mine too.
But yeah, man. So his chin held up though.
He did. I think he got rocked in the first.
He got rocked a couple. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looked like it.
But he stayed standing against one of the hardest hitting mammoth jams in the division.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey man, I'd say fight in Florida.
Yeah.
Fight somewhere, not at elevation, not high up, and see how he does.
Mm-hmm.
You think you should fight Chris?
Chris said something about it on
did he?
Twitter. He's like, hey man, if you ever want to come back, by the time you're ready, I should be ready. I'd love to
make that fight happen, rematch.
Yeah, it could be like their swan song. But then if Chris wins, then they got to have a third one. Yeah. So it's not,
Well, it'd be great for him. Great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, dude. So crazy fight. Now, what main event? We're on to the main event.
Main event.
Crazy.
Still in shock.
I know.
I'm talking, this is like Ronda Rousey, Holly Holm level. Like, what the heck? Everybody.
Just when did you see the footage of just the crowd going crazy and what their reactions were?
Yeah.
It was like a panoramic
It was complete shock.
Yeah. Well, okay, so let's kind of break this thing down from start to finish. Coming right off the bat, Leon Edwards surprised everybody because he took down the guy that just couldn't be taken down.
Never been taken down before in his 15-fight UFC career.
And Edwards takes him down. It was almost like with ease.
Mm-hmm.
We knew that Usman was going to get him to the cage, try to take him down. I think he got him down, and Leon got back up, but he got that body lock and little outside foot trip, leg trip, took him down. I thought freaking Usman tore his ACL just the way the angle of his foot was when he got tripped, but kept him in mounted position.
Took his back at the body lock.
Body lock, going for rear naked choke. I'm like, what? I've never seen Usman controlled like that, ever.
But Joe pointed out his one loss was by rear naked choke, but with a dude on his back. Of course, it was like his first fight ever in MMA, and it was against Bruce Leroy's brother. But still, that would have been crazy if it happened that way again.
I know. And that's probably what was going on in Leon's head, too.
Mm-hmm. So round one, Leon wins, hands down.
I thought it was smart for Leon to do that because now Usman's got to go back and think, all right, I'm supposed to be taking this guy down. He's supposed to be the striker, and he just took me down, and he controlled me for that entire first round.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole first round, do you think that was you think it was like a 10-8?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
So he wins the first round, and then the next 2, second, third, fourth round, and even into the fifth round, it was Usman. I felt like he had a hard time getting Leon down and controlling him. Leon's takedown defense was superb. It was very, very good. Mm-hmm. But still, he was losing the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And
now don't get us wrong. Leon got dumped a few times.
Yeah.
In rounds 2, 3, 4, but Usman wasn't able to do a whole lot with it.
No.
Leon did a pretty solid job getting back up.
Yeah. Got taken down. He did fine. He controlled a little bit, but he found time to get back up. Made time to get back up to his feet, and he did.
But Usman's striking started playing a big role. Mm-hmm. So 2, 3, and 4, he was landing his jab. He was getting his striking going. He was ripping the body shots. He was landing the elbows. So it was like, okay, round 1, but now we're starting to see that Usman back. But even in saying that, Usman didn't look quite like himself as well. Neither of those guys did. Leon looked tired after the first round. He didn't do a whole lot himself in terms of striking,
Yeah.
Pressing the action at all. But Usman didn't really do a whole lot either. Or he didn't look as ferocious in doing it.
As
he didn't look as, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It almost.
So you think altitude?
I think altitude. But Usman trains at altitude. He trains in Colorado.
Yeah.
So it was weird. It was a weird night. Before the fights, I was like, I just have this weird, eerie feeling that tonight is the night Usman loses.
And that said, so my predictions and stuff a few days before, it was Usman, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But me and you, that day before the fights even happened, we were like, we have a feeling that Edwards is going to get it. Edwards is going to get this. And I think I called it earlier on about what happened in the 5th round. I was like, well, you know, obviously the 5th round comes around. He, you know, Usman's kind of doing his thing. They get back out to the center and left hand head kick. Mm-hmm. Left hand, head kick, open stance. Usman leans into it, lights out, dropped, just collapsed.
Complete shock.
And after you know, we knew that Usman was winning the fight. He was winning the fight.
There was like a minute left.
And that happens. Epic. Place went nuts. I go crazy. Like, what just happened? And if Usman would have won that fight, he would have been tied for the longest, you know, UFC win streak, tied with Anderson Silva. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, I just knew it, man. I called it head kick, dude, and he hadn't thrown that head kick the entire time. Pretty much. I don't think so. I don't recall.
I think early on, a couple of times, but that's like his bread and butter. That left kick from that southpaw stance is like his deal.
Yeah.
And it was out of nowhere. But again, that 5th round came out. Usman was up. It almost looked like Usman was kind of like coasting a little bit. He was like, all right,
I got this.
You know, let me just stay at range. I don't want to risk anything. He didn't look like his normal in-your-face. When he fought Colby, he was in his freaking face, pushing Colby back, you know, the whole time. When he fought George, same thing. Masvidal, same thing. But this round, he was like, okay, let me just, you know, make it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And he sat back, and then the one time freaking Leon led the dance, led the exchange, that head kick, just perfect.
I thought it was perfect time to throw it because later in the rounds, 5th round, 1, you haven't thrown it a whole lot. 2, your reactions are greater because you are fatigued.
Mm-hmm. So
you don't stay as tight.
Yep.
Your reactions are just like really over exaggerated because you're just exhausted. The hands don't come back as well, and it was the perfect moment to throw that head kick. It landed right on the side of his head.
Chin,
it was
head,
quick.
done.
That is 3 weekends in a row that we've seen epic head kick knockouts.
We're close to it.
Close to it.
I don't remember when the Battle one took place, if that was 3 weeks ago or the week before, but you had the Brian Battle head kick, the Cheeto Vera head kick, and then this one.
Yeah, Leon Edwards head kick. Crazy.
Now you had new welterweight champ.
I mean, it's been a long time coming for Edwards. He should have had the title fight a long time ago, I think. Even though he's not a big name, you know, people know him now, but he wasn't a big draw. And he was on an 11-fight win streak before he got the title.
10-fight unbeaten streak. You know, there was a couple years. He had only fought like once a year, or he had fought, you know, a Cerrone and a RDA, and you know, he decisioned those guys. So it was just one of those things where he was winning, but he wasn't winning in crazy fashion. And his social media presence is not huge, and obviously the way the UFC is going at this point, it's all about name and social media and eyes, and he just didn't have it. It just wasn't all there. Great fighter, you know, great. Not saying that he's not a good fighter and he didn't deserve it at that time. It's just that I think it just came down to numbers. Like if they were to say Leon Edwards is fighting for the title, people would kind of be like, Leon who? The hardcore fans, the people who know the game, know who Leon Edwards is. Yeah. But if you're trying to bring new eyes into the promotion, that's not somebody you're going to be like, we got this guy, you know?
Yeah.
So, but now he finally got it. He worked his butt off for it, and it looked like a repeat of the first one. And then bam.
Kick takes one slip up, one mistake, just one, not even a millisecond mistake. It can change. It will change it. Change the outcome.
And people are like, yeah, man, that's what makes this the greatest sport in the world. And it's like at the same time, it's exactly what makes it like the worst too.
Yeah, as a fighter. 100%.
As a fighter, because you're winning.
Yeah.
You're winning, and then you're winning, and then you're not. You're winning, and then you lose.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. guy just closes his eyes and swings and knocks you out.
Not Leon didn't do that.
But I'm just saying, like, that could happen.
That can happen.
That's what I mean. Like, I hate picking fighters because you just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't know.
And everybody was saying, too, not counting Leon out, if he was going to beat Usman, that's how it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
A shot. Landing one of his strikes.
Rematch, and if he does it again.
Got to be rematch. And then if he does it again, then obviously the winner of Hamzat Diaz.
Yep.
Which, if you'd have asked me 2 days ago, 4 days ago, whatever, 100% guarantee, no doubt, Hamzat's winning that fight.
Now,
then a left-hand head kick could happen.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Or the same thing with Leon and Nate the first time.
Yeah.
Leon was winning. Nate hits with that jab cross, points at him. He could have finished it, but for some reason he didn't. But yeah, man,
crazy.
That's wild. Wild weekend, man. Wild weekend of fights. That head kick. I mean, I'm happy for Leon. Glad he's got it. But rematch, which is going to kind of hold the division up a little bit. We don't know when that's going to happen. But yeah, man, we'll see. We'll see when that is. But we got, Gon, Tuivasa. We got Nate. We got Hamzat. What was the third one coming up?
The other one, you have Sandhagen fighting Song Yadong. He's coming up. And then obviously 280 is another huge one coming up.
Yeah.
So closing out the year hard.
Yeah. Dude.
And then 281, MSG.
Yeah, dude.
Closing out the year hard.
Super hard. But that I'm excited. I'm trying to get on that Madison Square Garden card.
I know, man.
Trying to get on it. I want to give me that MSG. I love fighting at MSG.
Yeah.
I'm undefeated there. Like, let's fight on a big card. But we'll see. I don't know.
Yep.
Don't know. But anything else, Sweet Tea?
That about wraps it up.
That about wraps it up. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Sweet Tea, tell them they can watch it. Listen
right
to
here.
it.
You're watching it right now. Listen to it on Google. Listen to it on Apple. Listen to it on Spotify. All that good stuff. Thumbs up, like, 5 stars. Rate us. We love you. Appreciate y'all for everything.
Peace, guys. Catch you later.